this question, Chris Hayes here, just to make sure about how much news was made tonight on the policy front. Am I still correct that the Romney campaign's official position is they want to extend indefinitely or permanently the Bush tax cuts on the table, which would, of course, cut taxes for high-income individuals? I don't even think that's a matter of debate, and yet Mitt Romney himself tonight seemed to repudiate that.
If you extend the Bush tax cuts, you don't cut taxes. You keep taxes where they are. If you don't extend the Bush tax cuts, you raise taxes.
No,
if you don't extend the Bush tax cuts, in total, you raise taxes.
No, they're set to expire. It was your party that set them to expire, I would add.